My name is Kim Smith. I have been volunteering at Childs for over 15 years. Both of my children went here. I am also alumni. My daughter graduated, so now I am a community partner instead of a parent partner.
And I'm Megan Rosenbach. I founded Neighbors Investing in Childs Elementary in 2012. Kim was one of the first people that I was definitely advised to get involved because she was the main volunteer at the school already. I'm a former school district of Philadelphia teacher, so I was really passionate about connecting with my neighborhood school and just listening to what the needs are and getting more people involved. Our main motivation is, as nice, is to listen. We're not coming in with demands from some outside entity. We want to integrate as part of the community. Point Breeze is going on through a lot of transition right now as a community. There's a lot of new construction and flipping houses and new development, and so there's a lot of new folks moving into the neighborhood who don't have roots here like Kim does. And so one thing that we have seen NICE be able to do is by focusing on a single issue, on kids, on a school, which pretty much touches anyone who moves into the neighborhood because there's a lot of young families moving in, that has been a unifying factor. And I think that's the power of what we're doing. It goes beyond just responding to the school needs.
My biggest thing is the performing arts piece. Every assembly I get the kids together and we put on a presentation, whether it's dance, spoken word, speeches. And I think my biggest success this year was the Black History Show. Our theme was Maya Angelou because she was such a great person, and each classroom or each grade had a theme, and we dug out some of the biggest and the best poems by Maya Angelou, and we were told that the kids couldn't do that. It was too hard for them. And what I did was, when I first gave them the poem, I gave them different poems, and I said, pick the one that you want to do, and they picked the hardest one. And I said, all right, and I gave them highlighters. Highlight all the words you don't understand. And some of them highlighted every word on the page, and I was like, oh. I think maybe like 3 or 4 days before the oratorical, I was kind of concerned, like, oh, maybe they can't do it. And the kids said, yes, we can, yes, we can. I was in tears when my kids were standing up there and they recited A Brave and Startling Truth by Maya Angelou. And we're talking about 8 and 9-year-olds. They knocked it out of the box. And I was so proud. And I was standing there like proud mama, patting myself on the back. And we're still high-fiving to this day about how successful they were. And I enjoy the educational piece, but I think sometimes we need to make education fun, and we need to give the kids another avenue to express themselves creatively.
And NICE has been really inspired by all of the work that Kim has done with students for performances in the auditorium, and that coupled with Dr. Coots saying for a couple years now, we really need some improvements in the auditorium. So our focus in the 2014-2015 school year was putting together fundraisers to raise money for the auditorium. So the goal is $11,000, and we're just about there and might even well succeed that with some capital money from the city. And so the auditorium is going to get, basically an electronic overhaul. And it's important for special events like this, and it also becomes really important with these increasingly kind of rough winters that we're having, and the kids can't go out for recess. And so having this large space where the kids can have a creative outlet and not just have to sit down during recess. It's also a historic auditorium. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke there actually about 6 months before he was assassinated, and he spoke to the students at Barrett, and it's a beautiful room and such an asset. The community used it for a mayoral education forum. We're using it for a reunion this summer. The Philadelphia Film Society is using it for a screening this summer. So the principal is really open to allowing community groups to use it as well. So we just want to cultivate that as a resource.
It is a good community school. It's a good community space, and to bridge the gap between, the community, parents, and the school, and to change the stigma about public schools in general, because public schools are good. I came through public schools, and again, I'm alumni of Barrett and Childs, and instead of transitioning with my daughter to her school, I chose to stay here and continue to put my energy into this school because I have such a passion about it.
One thing that I'm excited about for next school year is partnering with current parents and basically organizing tours of the school next year. This is something that a lot of Friends of Neighborhood Schools groups have done, and I think that the most powerful piece of that is just getting people through the door. Folks who might not be sure about their neighborhood school or maybe had a bad experience at another neighborhood school. I just think that it's really important for people to meet the principal and meet the teachers and see the environment where their children will be educated, and then most importantly talk to other parents whose children are going there. I think creating that connection is something that NICE has some work to do on, certainly, you know, connecting parents with community members, and I hope that can continue. NICE continues to grow. I hope that we continue to diversify, that we're able to find ways to engage current parents and really just have dialogue around what we want our community to be like, and how we want our kids to be educated in that community.